Hello and welcome to our design masterclass live here on Jewellery Maker. We have the pleasure to have the company of the gorgeous Cherry joining us today, inspiring us with anodized aluminium.
Yes.
Now, anodized aluminium, for those of you who haven't seen, is an amazing discipline, a fantastic product that creates some of the most, I think, very contemporary, but yet really unique designs to your jewellery. Something totally different.
Something totally different and extremely versatile, so that you can actually create whatever you want to create with it.
That's it. We know you don't see a huge amount of it on Jewellery Maker, but I think that's because it's quite a selective kind of a designer who really sees the potential. But that's what these masterclasses are for, is to show you the potential, to really give you that perspective of it's not about being the person who goes, oh, that's lovely, but I couldn't do that.
But
this is
really
about saying, this is what you can do. This is what the masterclass is going to inspire you. And actually, we are going to give you some exclusive prices within this masterclass to give you the chance to get involved and create your own anodized aluminium design. So we are here to give you inspiration, to give you the ideas to go forward and create some of the most magnificent jewelry like this. I don't think it gets much better than this in terms of wow factor jewelry, and I think Cherry has really captured the potential of this magnificent medium. In terms of jewelry making, this really captures all aspects, whether it's your beading cascade, whether it's perhaps the lovely collar design. It feels like it's really intermingling lots of different textures to create one look.
Yes, it is.
Not only has Cherry created the neckline look, but also matching brangle, and on top of that, matching drop earrings as well. If I just lift those up and you can see them together, beautiful design. Fabulous quality. If I just see the luxury of the pattern and the print that you get with these earrings. I'm not holding them right, but there you go. Really fabulous, sophisticated, and yet totally unique. Totally unique,
yes. Even if you did it twice, it wouldn't come out quite the same.
I was about to say that, and it's almost like a work of art in the sense of every stroke that you put is going to be totally unique to the jewellery that you're making.
It is, but when we say a work of art, it is. I've created this way of working that anyone can do, so you don't have to be an artist to do this, but you'll be amazed at the results you can get.
Well, I am. Really, I mean, I have to say, and obviously I've worked alongside you with the anodized aluminium from the beginning.
Yes.
I've never seen the potential of the anodized in a piece like this, so it's really exciting to see it. Really exciting.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I want to get started on is to say that, as you may have gathered, our masterclasses are really rather popular, and one of the reasons that they're so popular is we're inspired by our designers, but we're also giving you exclusive deals within the show. Now, within this 1 hour, I can't guarantee the prices are going to be like this any other time than now, and that's something I really must highlight. This is an exclusive deal. Now, the price you should be paying to the price you're about to pay on this particular offer is £20 saving.
Wow. So even if you've bought it before, it's a good idea to top up with new dyes.
This is topping up and overflowing in opportunity, because this is amazing offer. I mean, it is ridiculous what we're about to do. Really, really ridiculous, and in a good way. Ridiculous in a good way, because you're about to benefit with a £20 saving. That's a lot of money. If you're going to anywhere in the world, that's a lot of money. But £20 in jewellery making, when you have the world as your oyster, and in all honesty, you'll be able to make this full piece of jewellery for a nominal fee today specifically. So it is a very exciting deal that we will offer you. And first of all, let's just highlight what you will be working with. I've already got people buying this without me even telling you the price tag. I've got people buying this. That just goes to show you say savings. Of course, if you've already bought from us today, you can add to your order on a single P&P of £2.95. So why not do it today? If you've got the mini macrame board, then you definitely got to add to your order on this one. This is a fantastic deal. £20 saving guaranteed from the price it should be to the price that we're going to put it to wear in this live masterclass. We'll only honour the price within the hour. Outside of this hour, you will be paying a higher price tag, so that's why you tune in. Now, you are getting your anodized aluminium, and these are your pre-anodized sheets.
Yes, they are.
Now, anodizing is effectively dyeing, isn't it, in many ways, or adding?
It's a chemical process, which is quite a dangerous process to undertake at home because it involves sulfuric acid and electricity and all kinds of things. So it's much easier to buy it ready anodized, and that means that it will take the dye. And the dye actually doesn't sit on top of the aluminium, it actually gets soaked into the aluminium. So once it's been sealed, it's never going to come off. It's there forever. So
it's not dangerous to work with.
Oh,
it's
gosh,
just
no,
that
no.
to get it ready to take the dye, it is anodized for us.
That's right.
That's the difference. Brilliant. That makes sense. So I tell you what, I've already got 20 allocated.
Well, that's brilliant because, you know, that really is a bargain. Really is a bargain.
Well, £20 off anodized aluminium doesn't happen very many places. I can pretty much guarantee you that. So you're getting both of your sheets, and you're also getting important gloves. Those gloves protect your hands.
We must wear our gloves before the aluminium is sealed. Not because it's going to do you any harm or damage at all, but just because the oils in our fingers will actually stop the dye from taking so well. They affect the anodized film on the aluminium.
And that's really, really important to know. It's not like you're protecting your hands, you're actually protecting the anodized aluminium from your hands, because you've got oils and you've got natural oils that will then affect the finish of the jewellery. So that's why you need to know that. You've got your gloves there as part of this pack. We're adding in 1, 2, 3, 4 variant dyes. 4 of the dyes, and that is your violet, your blue, your red, and also your green. So you're getting a full mix of the colours, and the colours that you can see here, you're going, oh, hang on a minute, they look purple, all of them look purple. It's just in the dye that's in the package, that's how they look. But obviously when you go to work with them, that's when they start to give you the colours like this one, and you can really see the quality of colour with the vibrancy, the range of tones that you get from one dye is quite exciting. It's all pertaining to obviously the content of the powder to the water, etc.
Mix it in, or how long you leave them in the dyes, or the colours you put on top of each other, because you can mix the colours.
You mix as well, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're going to get all 4 dyes, and these dyes go a long way, don't they?
They will last you an awfully long time. The instructions of the ratio of water to dye is on the packet. You must use distilled water or deionized water, the same water that you put in car batteries. It helps the strength of the dyes, and the quality of these dyes is second to none. It really is the best.
So I say that again, you don't use just normal tap water to mix these, and that's one thing that we will just highlight again. If you want to get the best results, use the right ingredients and you'll get results like this one. And of course, I'll reiterate one more thing, and I have to say it because it's part of my job. I can only offer this price tag within this hour. I cannot give you this deal any other time than now. It is an exclusive masterclass price tag. I even said the word master because I got all posh there.
You did.
Did you see that? Did you? I got really serious, and when I get serious, I get a little bit posher. Master. It's a masterclass. So because this is an exclusive masterclass price, be prepared. You get it now at this price, or be prepared to pay an extra £20 at least. Congratulations if you've tuned into this masterclass, because you've got your 2 anodized sheets, and you've got your dye, and you've got your gloves for just $29.95.
Fantastic.
Like it?
Yeah, really liking that. It's going to go such a long way. Those dyes are going to last you for ages.
And that's the thing is that you really have got a very special combination of opportunity here. And as you say, you can actually add the different colours and layers of colour, can't you? Once it's dried, and you literally can keep on adding the colours on and on and on. So, one of the nice things is that you can play with the colour, bring it out. If it's not right, you can put it back in if you want it a deeper colour. If it's not right again, you can then add some more colour and just play with it. There is no right and wrong.
There is no right and wrong.
No right and wrong.
No, and I'm going to show you a technique today where we're actually going to paint colour on top, which is quite exciting.
Let's do it then. $29.95. I can tell you now, I've only got 30 left in stock on that deal. 30 left in stock. So if you do like this one, we had a really good quantity, but unfortunately, you're only 30 chances left because, well, not unfortunate about the price, it's just that you might miss out. Yours for the taking, so £20 saving on that one. Truthfully, you were going to get it for $39.95. I said Genuinely, I genuinely did say this just before we came to air. I said to Scott, go on, do us a better deal. And he made the choice to take an extra tenner off. So Scott, my producer, has put his hands up and gone, Vix, maybe I've taken that too low. There's no such thing as too low in this world. The masterclasses are all about tuning in and getting that exclusive deal. And that's what you've got. Right then, go on. Let's crack on.
Let's crack on. What I wanted to create with this method of decorating the aluminium was I wanted it to look like silk painting. And I think it does.
Yeah, I think it does.
So these are all things that you should have at home that I've used along with it as well. So I've started off by cutting down a piece of aluminium. You've got two quite large sheets there. So that would be plenty for making the large collar that I've done there. The one I'm making today is slightly smaller, just so that I can do it a little bit quicker. And I've started by cutting a piece of aluminium and just dipping it into my yellow dye, and I've left it there just for a few minutes. So I put that in a few minutes before we came on air, so that it's got a nice yellow.
And what ratio have you done your dye to? What have you put powder to water?
It tells you on the packet, and you can experiment with that. I think it's 250 ml to half a litre, something like that. But you can experiment with it. And then you can just wipe with an old cloth, just wipe away any excess dye. And the wiping away of the dye will actually make sure that it has a nice smooth effect, and you don't have any little pools of dye anywhere that will dye a little bit darker. Now, I've actually dyed that, as I say, in the yellow first.
I love that colour. Look at the difference straight away.
I know. It is a beautiful colour.
That's amazing how quickly it's dyed.
You could have left this part out and dyed it later on if you wanted the actual pattern lines to be silver, but I wanted them to be a little bit more subtle, so I wanted to keep them in the background colour. Now I'm going to take my gloves off, which strictly speaking you shouldn't do for touching the aluminium, but I'm going to be really careful, and I've just found that doing this method with gloves on is a little bit tricky. So long as you're careful not to get your fingers on the aluminium, it's a little bit easier not to be wearing the gloves. What I've bought here is some peel-offs, which you can buy in any craft store, and just look for nice shapes and patterns. I've chosen some leaves, and I'm going to stick them straight onto the aluminium. I'm using a bead reamer to do that because it makes it a little bit easier. So I've got a selection here of leaves, and it is a little bit easier because they tend to stick to the gloves if you're wearing the gloves. But do be careful not to touch the aluminium with your fingers if you take your gloves off. So we just take them off and randomly stick them onto the aluminium, and you can just poke them down so that they're stuck right down, and then no paint, no dye will actually get onto those bits there. So if we just cover the whole thing.
So the principle of this is that whatever you're covering with the transfers will be left once you've re-dyed.
It will be, once I've put more colours on, the silver parts of this will be left in this bright yellow. So we can just carefully that down. And I'm just going to cover the whole thing with leaves. And you don't need to worry about making a pattern on here either, because don't forget you're going to cut this up into lots of different shapes and things, so it will end up being quite random.
Okay.
So you don't even need to worry about how you're actually placing it on.
And you're literally just peeling the transfers off, are you?
Yeah, they're called peel-offs.
Peel-offs. That sounds like some kind of rice dish.
They're from the craft industry for card making and that sort of thing.
Peel-off rice.
Yeah.
Here you go, miss.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I was actually really proud of myself there. You could tell, couldn't you?
You could,
I was laughing at my own joke.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, you're right.
Okay. So there we go. We'll just stick them on randomly. You just need to make sure that they're really well stuck down. Thank you. And as I say, don't worry about what pattern you're making either. And just stick them anywhere you like. And get some of these little circles on here as well, which look nice. And there are so many of these on the market.
I'm coming in.
Just stick them anywhere. So many of these on the market that you can get all kinds of lovely flowers and butterflies and shapes and lines, and you can have such a lot of fun. The scope for it is endless. And just fill as much as you can of the area. And one thing to bear in mind is not only do we need to think about the size of the piece of jewellery that we want to cut out, but we also need to think about putting the dies into some kind of die bath that your aluminium is going to fit in. So just think about the size of the die bath.
Yeah, make sure you
What I normally do is pour them out into these various vessels for dipping into, and then pour them back into the bottle with a lid so that they don't evaporate.
They do.
And they'll last longer then.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll just stick a couple more of these on and then we'll get cracking with the next stage, which is such fun. And I'll be really interested to see what people come up with for these patterns. Okay, last one. Right. So, put the peel-offs to one side. And then a nice brush, just make sure they're all stuck down. And then I've got a nice brush, and I'm going to start off by putting a mixture of different colours onto here. So let's start, I've got some gold here. And the colours you've got, just try mixing a lot of them together and see what happens really. Pinks and purples, your reds and purples and blues go beautifully together. So what I'm doing is I'm dipping into the dye and I'm painting onto the surface inside the peel-offs at this stage. And it's sitting in a pool, this dye. It's actually sitting inside there in a pool. And the more of a pool of liquid you get, the stronger it will actually come out in the end. So you want it to sort of pool inside the peel-offs. So you see what I mean? You don't need to be an artist to do this.
No.
Because it's all done for you. So I'm just getting lots of gold on there first.
And again, you know, in terms of the thickness and the concentration of the liquid,
yeah.
What are we talking here that you're working with? Is this just you just playing with the thickness? There's nothing. Again, do you feel like there's no right or wrong?
There isn't a right or wrong at all, and I haven't made a special thickness. I'm just using the dyes that I would normally dip into, so I haven't made up any separate, any thicker.
And then, so once it's mixed, as long as you store it,
yeah.
You just store it in, as you say, in a liquid bottle, as you've just said. Then you literally have got it to be used over and over again. There's no time span to use it up.
Well, eventually it'll start to. You'll see when it's starting to go a little bit old. The dye doesn't come out quite so clean coloured, and you get a sort of mottled effect, and then it's time to throw that away and use a new one. But honestly, that takes months and months.
Right.
I've got a little bit of green here that I'm mixing in, and it's lovely. Look how it mixes beautifully, and you get these beautiful sort of watercolour effects. It is just like painting with watercolours, and you get a beautiful watercolour effect with them.
And you just keep building it up.
Keep building it up, and obviously the longer you leave it like this, if you when you finish painting, if you were to leave it to completely dry by itself, you'd get much more strength of colour. So I would suggest that once you have painted it, you leave it for a little while until it's thoroughly dried.
And what timing do you think is it?
You could even leave it till the next day. You know, you could leave it a few hours, or you could leave it. It won't harm the aluminium not to seal it straight away. Okay.
And so there literally is no such thing as too long.
No.
Good. And the shorter period of time, the less intense the colour is going to be.
Yes, exactly, okay. Exactly. So we'll have a bit of blue. Make sure it's well mixed. A bit of blue in here. And this blue is really, really strong. It's lovely.
It's like a royal blue, is it?
It's what makes that real depth of colour on the piece, the blue.
Right. Again, it just feels like you're just adding layers.
Yeah.
Looks like a bit like a stained glass window.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Look at that. Stained glass window effect.
Lovely how the colours run into each other. And
yeah, what I like is that as they run, they're changing colour.
Yeah.
You know, as they're running, it's almost like you're creating a watercolour.
Yes.
Of quality.
And you can put little blobs inside those circles. Like that.
Fabulous.
And then just to mix it up a little bit, let's actually get some colour on the background as well.
Okay, so now you're adding all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that when you cut this up into pieces for your jewellery, you're going to get this lovely change of colour along your pieces, which I think.
Oh, now the yellow's dyed.
Yeah.
Is that is that going to hold its colour?
Yeah. Oh,
even though you're adding a colour to it.
Yes, it is. Get a bit of gold going.
So if you dry it, it then holds its colour. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the colours kind of react with each other. So you can see the yellow coming through this gold here, and the yellow will also affect the blue so that it comes out more green. So they actually just affect the next colour, the colour the next colour is going to be.
On top of?
On top of, yeah.
Right.
So we've used no marker pens, no graphic marker pens with this piece at all, just the dyes. Get a little bit more going on.
And it just feels like you're just building up now.
Yeah.
Now, while Cherry's doing that and finishing off her beautiful, almost watercolouring, how about we give you a chance to get the rest of the bundle in terms of the gemstones and the detail that you're getting from the actual design that Cherry is showing us. Within this offer, we are bringing you gemstones, threads, and jump rings, which, as you can see, are all essentials to this overall look. You have got 3 strands of your gems, 3 strands of these gorgeous, fresh coloured, and I mean they are lovely, almost a perfect English garden green, aren't they? Really fine quality that you have. These are your pre-night, your jadeite, and your green agate. So 3 strands with the fresh springtime look. Adding in here as well, we're giving you those vibrant greens from your satin cord. Adding to it as well your anodized jump rings, and you are getting, let's make sure I give you the right, 100 of your saw cut green anodized aluminium jump rings. So you're getting all of these together. So 100 of your jump rings, you're getting 10 meters of your satin cord, and 3 strands of beautiful gemstones, garden green colors, agate, jade, and pre-night for one price tag of just $14.95. Another masterclass offer, another masterclass opportunity. £14.95 is all you pay. 0800 644 655 is your free phone number if you'd like to join us. Should be over £21. You've got it for $14.95, so it's certainly a deal that you don't want to miss out on. As I say, masterclass exclusive pricing. 3 strands, including your pre-night, that gemstone that glows with its beautiful colouring, and adding to that your agate, your jade, and I mean, of course, just all of those essentials to get the look like this, but also essentials for many of our different designs. You've got your jump rings and you've got your satin cord, 10 meters of which 14 pounds for £14.95 is all you pay. Don't forget the masterclass with cherry aluminium sheets and dies, £29.95 as well. So if you're going to get this overall look, you really have got some amazing deals. The aluminium is £20 saving, so that bundle there, £20 saving. And here you've got all of those fantastic looks with colour fresh as the day, and you have it for £14.95. So, and add it to your order offer. Again, it's been a big day today, so you may as well keep on add to your order, and these deals are coming at you thick and fast today. Right, Cherry, we're there.
Okay. Final thing I would do to my piece of aluminium before I seal it is I would actually dip it into the blue dye, and if I just stand it in the blue dye, and then if I turn that round,
yeah, I was just going to say, can we turn that? That's brilliant.
Yeah. If I stand it in the blue dye and sort of swish it up a little bit with my brush, then I'll get this two-tone effect. And that's something that you can do with lots of different effects that you're doing. So I'm just swishing it up here so I don't get a hard line. And you could actually just prop it up and leave it in there for a little bit. Okay. Leave it for, check it after 5 minutes, after 10, and just see what depth of colour you want. And then you'll get that sort of two-tone, can you see that? Two-tone effect? Yeah. So I'm going to actually wipe this dry and put it to one side. Normally I would have spent a lot longer letting the dyes dry and what have you. So we'll put that out of the way, and at this point you would seal your aluminium. Okay, so how do we do that? You pop it into a food steamer. Not one that you're ever going to use for food again, so once you've used it for your aluminium, it must remain just for aluminium and not for food. So all you do is put it into a food steamer, fill up the steamer with ordinary water from the tap, and it needs 45 minutes to steam. And you can fit a lot into there, a lot of pieces. So get a little collection going and pop them all in, so long as they're not touching each other. I was just going to say, that means I would layer them, but you're saying you don't want them to be layered, they have to be exposed to the steam. Yes, so the steam can get all the way around. Okay. You usually get 3 tiers. So again, if you're making a piece of jewellery like this, you have to make sure it's the right size for your steamer. Yes, yes. just to be practical about it, because my steamer's not that big. I've got just one of my pan steamers, so I just you like a pan steamer rather than an electric steamer. I use electric steamers, and they're actually very cheap. I think they were £10. Oh right, okay. That's not bad, is it? And you might have an old one even. Yeah, I've just got a pan steamer. I've got like, you can use that. Scott's got a pan steamer as well. Yeah, you can use them. You can use that. Right, so I'm going to put that to one side. Claire would like us to know that she actually has a 3-tiered electric steamer. We're all going around to her house for salmon and steamed vegetables. Yes, you don't want to use my 3-tiered electric steamers because they've had aluminium in them. So. Yeah, we're not coming to your house for tea. Don't come to my house for tea. So I've got some pieces here that I've already dyed. The next stage is going to be actually drawing your design. So, bear with me. Where's my pencil gone? Oh, it is. So when it comes out of the steamer, it's going to be covered in a really sticky residue from the peel-offs. You need to actually then peel off the peel-offs. Oh, okay. Yes. So do you steam and then peel off? Yes. Yes, steam first. Don't touch it at all at that stage, just get it steamed. And then you can dispense with the gloves completely and you can handle it perfectly well. So after it's been steamed, you can then handle it with your fingers? And you need to literally scratch off the sticky bits. And they are a bit sticky and it does take a bit of doing. But once you've started to get them off and you've got like the sticky residue left on, your polish that we use at the end to actually really give it a nice finish. Ordinary furniture polish, lavender furniture polish, that will take away any residue of stickiness. You can see there's a few little bits of, if I move that to one side, you can see there's a few little bits of sticky left on here. The sticky sort of residue just looks like a bit dirty. So I'm just going to rub that, and you see it comes straight off with the polish, and you get a lovely shiny polished effect. And obviously the more you do this with your jewellery, the better it's going to be. And all my jewellery smells of lavender, which is lovely.
Okay. And you're nice and relaxed.
Yeah. So you're going to do that to all your pieces. The next thing you want to do is, and I really would recommend that you do this, is actually draw out what you want to cut. So for a collar,
can I just pull this a little bit? You just so we have your. That's it. Thanks, Cherry.
So for your collar, I would just draw out a basic collar shape that you want to create.
But if you're going for that like shape, would it be right to like measure it up against the neck, etc., so you know exactly what you want it to.
What you want it to do, and then when you've drawn it and you're happy with your drawing, take the measurements. And if you're not happy with drawing it straight onto the aluminium, you could even cut it out of your piece of paper and draw around that.
I would do that because I'm not that. I wouldn't be. Yeah, I definitely need a template.
Yeah, so you could do that. The next stage is to then draw it onto your aluminium, and you can see here I've drawn a piece onto the aluminium here. Don't know if you can see that.
Yeah,
you probably
need to
can't.
a little bit further. Sorry, Cherry.
You can't see the pencil marks.
Oh yeah, there we are.
Okay, and we're going to cut that out using the tin snips that we sell here. You've got two dials here on your tin snips, a large hand and a small hand. And the large hand is for a longer reach, the small hand is for a short reach, because sometimes you want a small snip. But for these, we'll have it on the long reach. So I'm just going to cut around. And you can actually get a bit of a curve with your cutting. Just gently move the aluminium as you cut. And you can actually get, it's really not a hard metal to work with at all. It's
I was just about to say, what kind of tension do you have to put to
Not
cut
hardly
that?
any. These are marvellous tin snips, and incidentally they do
can
come with a lifetime
just
guarantee.
Out of interest, just so I can, because I've never done it before. I am intrigued.
Try one of the straight lines.
Okay, and, I'm going to go around there. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, that really is. That's really quite surprising, because I thought there's going to have to be quite a lot of tension to be able to cut that. That's quite impressive.
It is, because they are proper tin snips for metal, so
they're designed for purpose.
Exactly.
I was saying this today about. Oh no, it was yesterday. We were talking about tools, weren't we? And I was saying, if you want to get the right job, get the right tool.
Absolutely,
because then a tool gives you right for purpose. Shall I give you this back rather than? It's not like I'm demonstrating. I just wanted to know.
It's great because you've never done that before.
No.
How easy was that?
No. I genuinely wanted to know how easy it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over.
No, I'm glad you did.
I just wanted to try it.
I'm glad you did, because sometimes people think, oh, well, she's used to it, you know, it won't be that easy when I do it.
That's exactly what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Whether you just were used to giving tension, or whether it was as simple as as it is, and it really is simple.
It really is. So just finish off cutting this out. Down there. So now I've got my basic collar shape.
Okay.
And the next thing to do is to sand all the edges, and this, you'll be amazed at how easy this is to sand, because it's literally like sanding butter. Got some really quite sharp bits there and uneven bits, and obviously anything with corners you want to smooth those right out, but it takes seconds, literally seconds. And if we look at that sharp edge there, if I get rid of that sharp edge, it'll take me literally a couple of seconds. And it's already smooth. I've got a few little burrs on there that just want. So it's extremely quick, requires no effort whatsoever. It's great because it's a sturdy piece of jewellery that once you have bent it into the shape, formed it into the shape that you want it to be, it's going to stay there, and yet it's very easy to work with. So there we go, that's it. I obviously would have spent a little bit longer making sure that it was just right. It'll be a bit dirty once you've done that, so you'll need to then polish it again. And
the
if you're making
comes out so beautifully,
and you see what I mean about a randomness of the actual pattern.
It's so beautiful.
You want that randomness, so you don't want to think about it when you're putting it down, because
I think it's gorgeous.
And then when you've got your piece comes out of the sealer and you're ready to actually make your shape, look at it and decide what part of it you want to use, and save every little bit, because earrings, you only need a tiny bit with some gemstones. Fabulous. So I've done that. Now the best thing, because this is going to be symmetrical, because we definitely don't want one side different to the other, the best thing to do is to actually take this and place it onto your second piece and draw around it that way.
Yeah, and repeat.
Then you know it's exactly the same. But don't forget that when you do that, place it down the wrong way round.
Yeah,
because otherwise you're going to end up with two right sides.
Yep, got it.
So reverse it and cut it out, and then you'll have two opposite sides and they'll be exactly the same.
Okay.
So that's what we do for that. There's one here I've done earlier, and the next stage that I'm going to do, so I have in effect got my two sides there. Okay. The next stage we need to do is think about the holes.
Yes, I was just about to say, you've got all those drills and all those holes in, and you're about to use a hole punch, I believe, and I have got a deal on that. So before we actually see Cherry creating the actual holes, how about we give you the chance to own the tool of the trade? And again, as we've just said, use the right tools, you get the right finish, and that's what you need on this kind of finishing touch, and it really does make a difference, doesn't it?
It does.
Now this is a double punch, because you're going to get 1.5 and 2 mil holes, so you have two different punches that you're going to achieve, obviously one each side in terms of the diameter. So it's a double metal punch that you're about to get. As I say, Cherry is about to give you a demonstration of how to work in it. It's really simple. It really is a very simple tool to use, but the nicest part about it is that we are going to give you a masterclass price slash.
This tool is an absolute dream to work with, an absolute dream.
Now, the price that you should be paying today is £9.95. That's the price it should be, but your live masterclass exclusive, you've got just 25 minutes or so to make the most of this price tag. £7.95 is all you pay. Your double metal punch, 2 poles, 1.5 and 2 mil gauge, and of course those are the perfect diameters for a variety of different threads, cords and chain, etc. Then if you're into your metal stamping, any of that, that's to look forward to in the coming week or so, but this will be a brilliant way to really add that detail.
Absolutely, it's an invaluable tool. It's so easy to use. I've actually mounted mine onto a little workstation, but that's only because when I'm sitting at my desk, it's at my eye level then. You don't need that, and I think this was £6.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't need it at all.
Yeah, because you can literally hold and screw, can't you? To put the punch holes in. Right, we'll show you what it is, but it's a price slash situation that you have here. £7.95. It is a Beadsmith Pro tool. It's classified by them as their Pro tool, which means you have got that quality edge.
So all I've done is using the larger hole of the two sizes. I've gone down the centre here with the large hole, and the smaller hole here. The smaller hole will take the jump rings, so that's fine. I wanted a larger hole to get the cord through.
Thread, yeah.
So that's been really useful. The best thing to do is to actually mark on your piece with a pen. I've just got a pencil here, but if you mark with a black pen is the easiest, so that you can see it really easily. And then all you do is pop that into your, in fact this is the larger hole here, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. All I'm doing is lining it up, and then you can line up the piece at the bottom with the mark you've made. So just take your time and make sure it's in the right place. So turn it right to go through, and it's literally just like going through butter, and then back again, left, and out it comes. Completely perfect.
Look at ta-da!
Completely perfect. It's a fantastic tool. It really is a very professional tool.
Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make a little mark. And you might want to obviously measure these so that they're something like 1/2 centimetre apart or whatever. So right to make the hole and left to release it. So simple, it takes no pressure at all to do that. You want to have a go? Shall I do a little mark?
Do I need to have a go? Today, I am in a let's try it kind of mood.
Not? Why not?
So I was going to do the smaller one for you.
Do you want to do a small one at the bottom?
I was going to add the smaller one.
Because it's on your side, isn't it? Let's pop one there.
Right.
Can you see that mark?
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to... Now, you have said that it's really easy, so I'm proving to you. This is the first time I've ever done it. Down.
Yeah.
There.
Are we going left? No. Yeah. Yes, you're going right. Yeah. That's it.
I can't even... Yeah, you have to do them in black pen's good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. You are in the right place, I can see you are.
There.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can hear it, you can almost feel the...
Yeah, you can.
And then I just don't let it go.
And then go back the other way.
Oh, please let me have done it.
And how gentle and soft is that? It's no pressure at all, is it?
Oh, no.
Just keep going to let it out. There you go. That really was easy, wasn't it?
Ta-da! I only went and did it.
Yeah.
Well, it is easy, yeah, it is
Yeah.
genuinely easy. It's just a twist, simple, and you can actually feel it doing the indent, and then that's it, you twist it back out again.
Yeah, no pressure at all. So you need to do that. And then what I've done is you can choose the length of the change you want, however spectacular you want to make it. I've started off, I've done about 15 here, and again you might want to go all the way to the top, you know, whatever you takes your fancy. But what I've done is I've started off with, I think, something like 26 links here, and then I've decreased it by 1 link each time. So,
okay, well, that's good to know.
And also when it sits, it goes up like that, so that makes it even more pronounced.
Yeah, beautiful.
But you get that lovely
gradient,
cascading effect, which is nice. So yeah, just 1 link less each time, and obviously do it twice for each side. These beautiful green jump rings go perfectly with it, and they're really, really strong. And I would definitely recommend using the aluminium jump rings with the aluminium, because they're so strong. Once you've done them up, they're not going to go anywhere. Your jewellery is really safe, really tough. And of course you can get them in all the matching colours, which is great.
Absolutely. So we've got that individual bib style now.
We have.
And as I say, just to those of you who have got obviously the tool there, it is a price slash, but only a price slash we can honour for the next 20 minutes or so. Outside of that, it's gone. Just to then highlight, we do have a second bundle to offer for those of you who perhaps want to explore different shades of colour. And of course, with the first bundle that we offered you with the sheets and with the dies, we gave you the violet, the green, the red, and the blue. Stick with the violet quality of colour, and perhaps you'd like to have this look together. You have here these gorgeous quality gemstones. You've got your faceted amethyst. It's your 8mm faceted amethyst. You've got your clear quartz in your 10mm. Then you've also got your light pink quartzite in your 2mm. And on top of that, you also have your lilac satin cord. That is your lilac satin cord, 10 meters of those. Oh, and I think it says there that you're going to get some jump rings as well. Oh, I've got them here. I'm going, where are they? Oh, they're right in front of you.
And they're a beautiful colour.
They are a gorgeous colour, they are. You have here 100 of your purple saw-cut anodized aluminium jump rings. These are the 9mm. These are the larger of the jump rings that we have available within this range. So these are the larger size rather than the 5mm. So here are your 9mm jump rings. You get your lilac satin cord. You get your amethyst, quartzite, and those big clear quartz, 10mm clear quartz. This is just an alternative derivative of colouring from the green and going for the lilacs and the purple. So it's just a totally different look. How do you fancy a £20 saving again?
Oh my word.
How do you fancy that? Yeah? Less than £20. With that £20 you've just saved from buying the anodized aluminium today, how about we give you that saving into this deal? Because effectively that £20 you've just saved, you've now just bought yourself an amazing deal. You have just got yourself a treat and a half. If you want to join us, now is the time to do so. 0800 644 655. Join us on the web at www.jewellerymaker.com. £19.95 is all you pay. Fantastic deal there. Less than £20. So the £20 you saved, why not treat yourself to this amazing feature of beautiful amethyst, quartzite, clear quartz, plus the anodized aluminium jump rings and the lilac satin cord, all for one price tag. Congratulations if you got that one. Beautiful.
That is going to look fabulous with maybe some butterflies and flower peel-offs. That would be so beautiful with all the purples and blues. And if you mix the red in with the purples and blues, you're going to get sort of a pinky tone, nice. Pinky purpley colour, which that would look absolutely fabulous.
Glamorous.
Gorgeous. Right, so the next stage is going to be threading the cord into the holes. And it is quite thick, so there's a little knack to it, which works beautifully. All I've done is I've taken a length of beading thread, a small, very small length of beading thread, and I'm effectively making a needle out of it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to fold it in half. This is a fabulous little trick, which really does help. And I'm going to use that as a needle.
Okay.
Simple as that. And that means that I can easily get the thread to go, whoops, I've dropped it. Sorry, excuse me. It's fallen out. Here we go. It means I can easily thread the cord. We start at the top. And you just pull it through and it goes through really, really easily.
Okay, cool.
And you can thread the whole thing then. And that's how simple it is. So that's basically how you put it together. Once you've put it together, I've made an extra hole at the top in the corner with a jump ring here for the putting it together. And actually it'd be a really nice idea to do some macrame with that, wouldn't it?
Lovely. Oh yes, really please. Nice kumihimo as well. Nice.
Yes, or kumihimo. And at the moment it's very, very flat. So the other thing I would do.
So you've added a jump ring up the top.
Yes.
And that's for your.
That's going to be
extra.
for tying it up with the cord.
Yep.
In whichever way you choose to do at the end, or you could use chain, whatever.
But because it's still a flat item,
it's still
and of
very
course we've
flat.
got a curved décolletage.
We want a little bit curved. So I've got a rolling pin. And I use this rolling pin all the time. And you can curve so easily with this. Because it's a collar, you want to be sure you're not overdoing this, because you don't want it so curved that it's not going to sit flat on the décolletage. So it wants a very, very slight bending. And the best way to, you can hear that horrible noise. Yeah, that's the
I quite like that noise.
Structure of the aluminium moving. As long as you do it slowly and gently, it won't affect the surface. But don't overdo it. Keep trying it on. Put it up against you and see if that sits properly. Because if it was too curved, it really would. It wouldn't sit properly.
Yeah.
So just do it a little bit. Try it a little bit. Try it.
Can I show everybody how it's now staying in that curved way? Isn't that nice and subtle? You can just see that little curve, and that's just going to really reflect the décolletage. You can actually see it from the profile better to see that curl.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And you can start to see a bit of a shine developing on there, but the more you polish it, that shine's going to come up really strong and vibrant and give it a really nice polished effect. And the only other thing that I've done is I've made the earrings, I think, are particularly nice. And all I've done is I've got a triangle. So, you know, all those little leftover bits, I've got a triangle, and once you've cut one, again, use that as a template so that you know they're all the same, because you want them to be exactly the same. Smooth off your edges, and I've done a hole at the top and 2 holes here to join them together, and then on the bottom ones I've put extra holes in. I've put one at the very, very bottom, so if that was the very bottom piece, I put one at the bottom and 3 up each side, so just measure them so that they're level. Yeah. And hang your chain from there, and you could do variations on that, and you know, it looks very nice. And again, I've taken my rolling pin and just given them a bit of a bend. I like to form everything slightly because I think it gives it a more professional finish if you actually do form the metal a little bit. So you get that lovely sort of bend in the, really hard to see like that, but you get that nice effect. Very easy to do. So there we go.
And what's so you would then put your jump rings in.
Yeah.
You do your drill holes, obviously your little punches.
Yes.
And
make sure you measure everything so that everything's exactly the same. So, and then mark it with a black pen where you're going to put your holes, because it's quite important that you get them in exactly the right place so that they're exactly the same. And then I've used the small hole punch on those. You don't need to use the large one because the jump rings go through that absolutely fine. And
you create a lovely cascade effect. Yeah. And then let's go to the bangle. Let's just talk about this, because this is a different look altogether, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
In terms of the design, because as you can see, Cherry's gone for that bangle effect by giving us this lovely curved, and this is probably just a little bit stronger in terms of you know, you're really curving.
Yeah, you can see that is now holding. It's fabulous because it not only does it hold the shape that you've already given it, but you can open it to get it on and off, or you could, if it wasn't quite the right size for you, you could give it a squeeze and make sure it was. Yeah. Tighten it up a little bit, but you've got enough give in there to.
Yeah, there's ductility, but it's malleable as well, isn't it? Yeah, it holds that shape.
So all I've done with that is cut a straight long length of aluminium. For my wrist size, it's approximately 16 centimetres, but I'm a little bit smaller than average. So I would say about 18 centimetres would be an average length.
Okay.
And then all you do, in actual fact, before I formed it, I've made a selection of holes on the front there and threaded the cord through the holes and through the centre so that you can't see any of the workings of the holes. Selection of gemstones on some 0.4 wire.
I just need to show that how you've secured it.
It's not very neat at the back.
Oh no, it is. It works exactly right. It's like a spider's web almost, isn't it?
Yeah. So you could experiment with different ways. You could almost have like a blanket stitch going around the outside, and just overlap the cord around the outside. That would be quite nice.
It looks really funky like that though, doesn't it? Yeah. It looks like it's just exploding, and then you've done this lovely cluster design of those additional gemstones, which just again all brings the piece together, doesn't it, when you've got the matching stones, etc.
And the gemstones, I've used wire for those because that's easier to do with the wire. And
that's something I wanted to ask, and a couple of messages have come in. Yeah. Can you use the anodized aluminium with other mediums? Like, could you mix it alongside something like a polymer? Could you mix it alongside a silver clay? So. Could you work it with, you know, what can you do with this outside of creating jewelry like this? Yeah. What else can we do? Where else can we take this?
Yeah, really, honestly, it's beyond belief what we can do. We've barely scratched the surface so far of what we can do with this.
Like what? But, so what's our thinking?
Hopefully I'll be bringing some inks that we can use, that we can actually paint with the inks, not just use the dyes. You can actually do digital photography straight onto the aluminium, which is incredible. And then dye over the top of that.
But when it comes to the other mediums,
when it comes to mediums, it would mix beautifully with polymer clay, because you can make little charms with the aluminium, or it mixes beautifully with all the metal clays. Absolutely fantastic, and have a mixture of mediums, because you can cut out little shapes and have you know, a mixture of them all on there. You could actually make some polymer clay pieces and wire those onto it, or because you can make the holes in it. You can use it as a base for all kinds of mediums.
Yes, of course.
Brilliantly with macrame, as we said. Honestly, I can't think of anything you can't use with it, to be quite honest.
No, indeed.
I'd like to have a go with some resin, actually. I'd like to make some resin bangles and rings, and then cut out pieces of aluminium, maybe some butterflies or something, and sink them into...
It's interesting because I was about to say, what about some egg-friendly plastic? Because obviously that's an incredibly popular medium that we've seen just recently.
Yes.
And if we put that alongside, it's a very similar aesthetics. You know, those the cuff bangles are very similar.
Yes.
But actually, I wonder if you could bring them together and create something really unique and really take those, you know, the metal and then with the plastic, it might be nice to fuse them together.
And your jewel enamel, you could actually, you know, sink pieces into your resin or your jewel enamel, flowers or butterflies or, you know, shapes, sink it into it before it's dried, and you know, that's going to look amazing. In fact, that's one of the things I'd like to do.
Yeah, lots of exploration to be had, isn't there?
Yes.
So let's. Sorry,
I was just going to say, to actually
do.
make the bangle, you just place your flat piece of aluminium onto your rolling pin, and gently and slowly, don't try and do it all in one go.
Because?
Gently tease it, because you might get the actual surface of the aluminium splitting. Okay. So you'll get like a sort of it's quite a nice effect actually, but if you want it to be perfectly smooth and nice, then just do it slowly, because you can hear that cracking, and you want to sort of minimise that and do it slowly, and just keep doing it slowly and slowly until you get this lovely shape, and then you can make it to the size that you want. And there are other things we can do as well with doming blocks, where we can actually dome shapes and create textures and all kinds of things. So there's, you know, the limitations of this art, you know, there aren't any limitations.
Yeah, there are no.
So much.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of deals had in this masterclass. Just to recap, we have got for you the way that began with the pre-anodized sheets. You're getting 2 of the pre-anodized sheets within this one deal. Now we have got availability on this at present, but it is an exclusive masterclass deal. Last time we could probably do this price tag as this time. Because Scott did make the decision to take this an extra £10 lower than the price we were already going to do. So you were going to get this deal for $39.95. Scott took another £10 out, so that's £20 saving from the price it should be. You get the 2 sheets and you get the gloves. We'll also give you the blue dye, the violet dye, the red and the green dye, all together for one price tag of $29.95. I would say that's a £20 saving for pretty much everything in terms of the ingredients that you need just to explore this one medium of jewellery making potential. Let's just then move on, because of course one of the big deals of today is our price slash, and it's a big one. It is a big opportunity to get this hole punch. I know for a lot of people perhaps you've been holding off and holding off. Well, you're not holding off now. Add to your order cost 1 P&P if you've already purchased from us today, whether that's our day show, perhaps you're planning on watching the late show. Got some cracking deals, and the lovely Gemma Crow joining us this evening to inspire us. So if you are interested, making your purchase tonight, where you could be adding to your order, and this is the way you can start your order for £2.95. It was $9.95, your price slash for this class only. So you've got maybe a couple of minutes. That's it, just a couple of minutes left on this price slash, and you've got it for £7.95. So it's your 2 hole punch, 1.5 and 2 mil hole punch, yours for just $7.95. Adding again, and we're going to go for those luscious garden green colours, where you've got these beautiful pre-nights mixing alongside your jade, and you've got your quartzite. Lovely luscious colours. There at the bottom of the screen you can see the masterclass with cherry cords and gemstone bundle. Not just cord though, you've got your satin cord, 10 meters of that green, and then coming in again with your 100 saw cut anodized aluminium green jump rings as well. So you get that combination for just $14.95. That's your code at the bottom of the screen, QAGC14. Final offer that we came with today, we gave you an amazing combination of gems. I mean, just utterly beautiful. And the £20 that you saved on that fantastic pack, perhaps you could treat yourself to this pack, because it's less than £20 and it is a beautiful combination of your clear quartz, a faceted amethyst and top quality amethyst. You can tell by the colour, and then hot pinks as well. Then we're adding in your jump rings, and you're going to get 10 meters of your satin cord, all for $19.95. SBGC23 is the code for that one, and that's less than £20. So really a great deal and a great opportunity, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, a fantastically inspired piece of jewellery, or multiple pieces of jewellery that we've learned with Cherry today. A big thank you to Cherry for her inspiration, and lovely to have your company today. Don't forget, join us at 5 o'clock this evening with our live late show with the lovely Gemma Crow and myself. Can't wait to see you there. Take care.
Bye.